Hello cookies, it's Iri, I'm back, and for this 27th episode of 31 Days of Christmas, I'm bringing you a first impression review of glitter injections, pressed glitters. It cost me $75 plus $15 shipping, so it was $90. The first thing I didn't like was customer service. When I checked out my order, I knew that I wrote my address perfectly fine, but then for some weird reason in the confirmation email I got, half of the address was missing. So I started to freak out and I emailed their customer service straight away and I said, "Hello, I just made an order of $90 from your website, but somehow my address was wrongly saved, I guess, so it doesn't appear properly. So here's my address, thank you very much, good evening, best regards." And then I just got an email that said, "Oh, we will forward this to the right person," and that's all I got. Next day, I saw on Glitter Injections Instagram that the owner said, "Oh, we couldn't ship 10 of the orders from yesterday because the addresses were wrong, so please give the right addresses." So since I haven't gotten any feedback from customer service, I thought, wow, I might actually be one of the 10 addresses. So I emailed them again and I said, "Hello, it's me again. I think she complained on Instagram that some of the addresses were wrong, so even though I gave you mine yesterday, I'm giving it to you again just in case. Thank you very much, best regards." And then the reply was so condescending, so let me read it to you. It says, "Marcia, with all due respect to Jessica, I would not call it complaining," and blah 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 blah. And I thought, wow, that is so personal, because when they say "with all due respect," they basically imply that I was disrespectful, and then they say "I would not call it complaining." That's a very personal statement from customer service. I mean, I know you're a person talking to me, but it's supposed to be professional. And then I actually was respectful because I said, "Hello, have a good evening," while they said just, "Marcia, with all respect to Jessica, blah blah blah." There's no hello, there's no good evening, there's no "dear customer number 2045, you know, the typical customer service thing, nothing. And the way they wrote it was just the way, you know, a parent would scold their children. And I actually replied, "Hello, when I said complaining, I did not mean it in a bad way. I was not at all referring to anything personal about her. Complaining is the direct translation in the dictionary of all the 7 non-English languages I speak. If the dictionary says that complaining is the word, I use it. I would never use any offensive word to annoy anyone. I was just double checking that my order was coming. Regards." So you see, even if I was annoyed by the way they replied to me, I still put "hello" and "regards" in the end. And I actually had to defend myself for something like that, while I don't know, it never occurred to me that by using the word complaining, I would get the customer service person all offended and pissed at me and saying I was disrespectful. The second thing I didn't like is the way the palette looks like, the way it arrived. Basically, just when I look at it, I get irritated because it just came like this with this thin plasticky thing that actually has part of the glitters stuck on it. Since there is no protection, there is nothing, it just comes loose, like they could just basically fall. I mean, it's magnetic, but they could fall. And you can't see it here, but this pink one here got all mushy, so the other ones are pretty nicely flat there. I haven't swatched any of them. This doesn't offer that much protection. This is how the palette looks like up close, and I don't know if you can see, but the pink one is really slightly mushy. It's not as even as the other ones. So when I saw it, I told John, "What? Are you serious? This is not a palette." I mean, on the website it said magnetic palette. On my receipt, on my email, it said palette. This is a frame. See? Looking like this. And looking like this. This is a photography frame. This is not a palette. Now I have to buy a magnetic palette with a cover to actually protect it, because I can't have this in my drawer. I can't have glitter just like this in the open. I mean, if I put things on top of it, it's just gonna mess it all up and it's all going to be lost. I'm not super convinced yet as to whether this is worth $75. So Let's just watch the one that is already mushy anyway. Here you have some chunks that is like kind of falling down. See here, you have a chunk. Yeah, it is very chunky and weird. I don't really like the consistency of it. It's not, wow. Yeah, see? It's so chunky that it's actually falling like on my pants and everywhere. And now we're going to test it underwater because there was a video on Instagram about these that showed that they were basically waterproof. This is basically how it looks like after the water thing. And as you can see, it's still pretty much there. It's a little bit faded here, but the pink one is still there properly, and the blue one is just slightly faded, but otherwise, yeah, it is pretty much waterproof. So to sum it up, the only nice things about these glitters is that, one, the colors are really pretty. I mean, it's honestly really pretty. I really love every single shade. And the fact that they're pretty much waterproof, as we've tried here on my hand. I have no idea about their other products, maybe they're super amazing. But as for me, I'm done with glitter injections. And that's the end of this first impression review / rant video, I guess. And let me know in the comments down below if you've tried glitter injections before, if you like the products, if you're like, if you're like, woohoo, those are the best. Because I want to know what other people think as well. And let me know in the comments down below if you've experienced some weird customer service as well, because I'm really interested in those so that I avoid these shops, because I'm like, no, if I can trust a customer service, I don't trust you sending me the right things and things like that. So no, I'd rather be careful with my money. So until next time then, cookies, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!